What's up guys, I'm PawsBuild and welcome back to our Ethical Zoo franchise mode series in Planet Zoo. In the previous video, we made a huge underwater viewing area for the sun bears, and in this video, we're going to continue to expand the Asia side of our zoo by introducing the Caracals with a giant mountain habitat. Well, our Asian water monitor is definitely enjoying their habitat. Look at them swimming around, having a good time, living their best life. And you guys did suggest a number of names for them. I think the best one has got to be to go with Godzilla for the Asian water monitor, because he is kind of a giant lizard as far as the zoo's concerned anyway. He's the biggest lizard we've got, I think, so he can definitely have that title. Look at him. And I know some of you are basically saying that we could add in a female because we can have two of them in here, like they'll be happily live there, and just put one of them on contraceptives. But it's also a bit like, I think they're fine on their own. Like, they're solitary animals. They'll happily live on their own. So there's no real need to, at which point, let's just leave him to do his thing, you know? It's absolutely fine. I don't think it makes much more sense to add in a female. And you guys are kind of 50-50 on this, so I think I'm just going to leave things as they are here. Oh, look, we've got the keeper going in. Probably to go feed them. Yeah, it's a nice day, isn't it? A nice day in the grasslands of Africa. And I just love how, like, over the top this habitat is. It's just a massive lake for such a small animal. But that's the whole point. He should never go wanting in this zoo. That is the whole point of the zoo. And our first guests are coming over. We're finally drawing guests this way to learn about the Asian water monitor, which is awesome. Now, we do have a couple of issues in the zoo. We've got the boars in our European habitat over here. I think they've grown up the males. So let's find the wild boar. Yeah, they've got an incorrect sex ratio because, let's pause it. Wow, all of these have grown up. I think it's all of the babies have grown up at once. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, we're just going to release all of these, I think. And if we release 7, including one that's taken over as alpha, which we don't like, so let's release them for 47 credits. Now, they are a least concerned species, so I think what we'll do is we'll just put Henry on contraceptives and we'll stop breeding the boars, and he can just live out his days in here, and then we won't replace him. We'll just leave all the females to live a happy little life in here, because we're going to stop breeding the least concerned species, because as you see, we released 7 animals and we only got 47 credits, so we're not really doing that much for the environment by breeding them. And I don't know what the score is with the other animals in here, but it's probably worth having a look, isn't it? The European fallow deer, let's look at them. So the European fallow deer are least concern. The red deer are also least concern. So are the mute swans, but the Wiesen are near threatened. So the Wiesen is fine. Everyone else, I think they've also had babies grow up. Let's release the young males. And then we'll just put the adult males on contraceptives, and we can leave them, and they could just, you know, they can live their time. That's absolutely fine, but they don't need to be breeding. That's the difference. So prongs is going to go on as well, and the mute swans, I am just tempted to, because we're going to have so many. We already have a crazy amount of swans. Let's just put all of the males on contraceptives, and then we don't have to worry about it. And that's probably easier, given the volume we have, to go into the animal tab and do it from here, and just filter by the species. There we go. They're all on contraceptives now, so they shouldn't be breeding anymore. I think most of the other animals in the zoo are all supposed to be breeding, though. Like the Eurasian lynx and stuff, I think are at least near threatened, if not greater. In fact, actually, the Eurasian lynx is a least concerned species too. So you know what? Let's put them on as well. Let's put Tommy on contraceptives, because if they're least concerned, we don't need to worry about breeding them. Oh no, and Stripes died. The striped hyena. Bless them. Aw, poor thing. And we call the vet for that. Now, I think it would probably be a good idea to put in another entrance to the zoo, because we've already got one here and one here. I think it's probably a good idea to put one from the south and one from the north. So let's put in our northern entrance. I think this is all one group. It is. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the entrance we already have and whack it over here. And then we've got another entrance coming in from this side, and we can have maybe a little bit of a guest area around here or something. Let's have this go here. And then we just need to connect it up with paths and put in some flowers so it looks like the other one. Oh, this is all very elevated. We need to lower that down. there we go. I think that looks pretty good. We didn't even spend that long making it, which is pretty cool. So we've got another entrance over here, which will bring in more guests on this side. We do need to probably move these seats because I don't think guests would be super happy with that. In fact, let's just move them onto the path here. And then if they're already tired by this point, I suppose if they're leaving, they might use them. I was like, if you're arriving to the zoo and you've been sat down on that truck for ages and you finally get here and you're like, whoa, I need to sit down. But, you know, maybe people who are leaving, they might use it more. Let's put this on 100% intensity and just neaten up the grass areas around here so it blends back in. That's going to be much better. And there we are. I think this is looking pretty good. Now we have another entrance over here. I'd like to have some guest stuff over here that they walk past. They've already got the information booth there, but it's probably a good idea to have some guest facilities. And I'd like to build a habitat over here. So I might build the habitat first to know where it's going to go and then work on the guest facilities. So let's do that first. And this habitat is going to be for the Caracal. So here they are. They're another least concerned species, but we are going to put them in the zoo. We just won't breed them probably. And they live in groups of 1 to 2. So again, we may pick one and have them live solitary, or we'll have 2. It means you can see both animals as well when you go to the zoo. So it's not too bad really. So they live to be 18 years old. We need to look at their barriers as well. They have, if there's one of them, let's say there are 2 of them, it's only 645 meters squared. It needs to be grade 3 and climb proof, taller than 3 meters. Now, we're definitely going to be above grade 3 because we're going to use the construction pieces, which are like grade unlimited, but we need to make sure it's taller than 3 meters and climb proof. So they also have a climbing requirement. So we're going to need to put in some climbing enrichment for them. But for now, let's just kind of map out where we want this habitat to be with the construction pieces, and then we can build null barriers all the way along the outside. And I'm going to filter by the East Asia, Indian and Indonesian pieces to have it fit in with the rest of our Asia section, and probably use something quite similar to what we have here, but for 3 meters. Okay, now I've finished these 2 different wall pieces, and the reason I've done 2 is I'm going to duplicate them to make the whole habitat, rather than building the border and then decorating every single wall piece. This is much easier to do. So let's do that to go around here, I think, around this area. This is going to be, we're going to use this kind of like natural terrain to make a habitat here and have this whole area, I think, be their habitat. And hopefully we can get them to climb this mountain as well. If we build the habitat around the outside, they'll be able to climb the mountain, which I think would be really cool for them. So let's build this barrier now. Okay, so we built quite a large section here. I'm going to delete these two pieces we had there. And look, we have a bit of a habitat here. Now, I do want to put a path in, but I don't want it to go the whole length of the habitat. So I'm going to start it off probably about there. And then we can just have the path kind of go alongside. It could even join up there, actually. But yeah, let's do that. Let's have it kind of curl onto the entrance there. And we can maybe have some flowers in here. But I do want it to continue up here as well, like this. Something like that seems good to me. I really kind of wish it's different. Kind of want it to be different here though. That would be ideal, but it's going to go into the habitat, which we do not want. So let's have it be a little bit further away. That's kind of perfect. Although I think we're going to struggle now to get our barriers in, but we can see if we can do it. That would be ideal though, to have it hug the habitat like this. And yeah, let's duplicate these flowers as well, because we can definitely make this work in this space. There we go, I think that looks good. Okay, so we've got this in. Let's build the null barrier around the outside and put in our habitat gate. And we are going to use a 4-meter habitat gate for this. Now let's put our habitat gate in as well. Now the arrow needs to point into the habitat, so let's put it somewhere along the track. Over here is probably good actually, because this is where our keepers are going to come from. So it might actually be a better idea to have the gate be somewhere over here like this. And connect in. So let's do that. Let's try and line it up with one of our pieces here, like this. And then let's build the null barriers all the way along the outside. So this is where the actual barrier will be for the habitat. Okay, so that is in. That barrier is now almost 20,000 meters squared. Okay, this is a ridiculous size habitat for this animal. We're definitely, let's get 2 for sure. And maybe we should do the same. You know what? Let's get another Asian water monitor as well. And we'll just put them on contraceptives. And then we'll get our Caracals too. If we filter them by appeal, there's a really good female here. Let's adopt her and send her to quarantine in the Asia section. Quarantine over here. And then if she's got any injuries or diseases, we can catch that before we put her into the zoo. And then let's also connect up our path over here to where I want to have a bit of a guest area. Now, I do have to be mindful of this impact on guests that's going to come from this water pump, but we are going to decorate it up. So I'm not too worried because that area is going to shrink. I think if we have it like this, then we can confidently say that it's not going to impact anything. And maybe if we reduce this, we can have a more natural curve. I kind of want them to have space though. Let's have a little rest area at the end and then it can just connect up. Let's get our Caracals. Now that we know our habitat is built and suitable, let's sort them by appeal as well. Have the most appealing at the top. And let's get 1 of each. Okay, size, I'm not too bothered about. Though I don't really care about fertility. I'd rather have other traits, really. So maybe this one is better because they're the same appeal. Or this one is infertile, but perfect in every other way. So maybe we should get her because we're not going to be breeding with this one. Let's get this one because she's really young as well. And then we've got a good male here. Let's grab this male from Frontier Zoo. And then we will send our 2 Caracals to the quarantine. And they can also go through quarantine. And we should also rename this habitat to Caracal. And then I think while we wait for that, we should probably decorate up this area here a little bit. So I might add a little bit of a nature area, have another biodiverse area that we'll just leave to kind of do wherever it wants. And then maybe have a little guest area over here. I'm just seeing whether we can move our water treatment at all. Because I think this is kind of ideally located, really. So I'm going to leave it there. But I might build it into the biodiverse nature area and have kind of a biodiverse area around it that the keepers walk into. But other than that, we just leave it. So it's untamed, but it's nothing that's going to impact this. And we do have to be mindful of that solar panel, otherwise that wouldn't work. In fact, we could probably move the solar panel out and it would still catch the water. Oh no, but we need it over here. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave it where it is because it's doing a good job as it is. Everything seems to be functioning. Let's just decorate this whole area up. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe a guest area would be better on this side because there's not too much space over here. So I think maybe we'll just decorate this whole area over here up to be a large biodiverse wildlife area. And we can even move the guest path through here to be like over here or something. That might make more sense. Something like that would probably be better. And I'm going to put in grassland African plants because they're the ones that would naturally kind of grow here. And I might even put in a little water area. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to put in a little water area over here as well, which is actually going to be clean, that we don't need to be. But it'll give it a little bit of a lake on this side, or a pond, I guess is a better word for it. Just a small pond that we can terrain paint a little bit to be soil, because I think it's a bit weird to have grass underwater. You know, but there's a little bit of a pond in there, and or it should probably be heavy soil for a lot of it. And then we could, yeah, just put some plants in. And this is just an area that we won't maintain heavily. In fact, I'm going to change this as well because I don't like that section. I'm going to change this wall as well. But then I'm just going to finish up this border, put in all the plants, and that should be good to go. There we go. That is definitely a lot more biodiverse, and we've tried to leave some area clear for the solar panel. You'd never put a solar panel in here, like in real life, but we've got it in here, so we need to make the best of it, really, of the situation, and we need it here. So that's what we probably do, and that just brings the area to life so much more when you have it like this. If we hit play as well, our animals will actually go through quarantine because we've been paused. But they will go through very shortly, and then we'll be able to add them into the habitat, which would be cool. Okay, looks like our water monitor has passed quarantine, so we're going to move them into the water monitor habitat. And they can be introduced. Now I'm going to put the male that lives here on contraceptives, just so we remember. Where is he? I think he's here. There he is. Let's put Godzilla on contraceptives. And then we've got our Caracals are starting to pass quarantine. So when they're both ready, we'll move them both in at the same time, probably. Both of them are ready now, so let's move them into their habitat over here. We also need to add this habitat into the work zone, while I remember. So if we go staff, work zones, and Asia, let's throw all of this new stuff into the Asia work zone. I don't think we're missing anything here. And then also the zoo work zone, we need to throw it all into the zoo work zone too. And now all of our staff are going to be able to get to it. And basically where the keepers are going to access it is through here. So it's actually really close to them from the keeper hut in here to the habitat over here. I think it's a pretty good location for them. So hopefully it won't take them long. Oh, you can also see that we've got all our guests coming through. So it's definitely worth having an entrance on this side because it attracts a lot more guests through here already. And we've kind of got 4 corners of this zoo anyway, so it makes sense. We've got the South America and Oceania section over here. Then we've got the Africa section over here, the Europe section, and the Asia section. So we've kind of given an entrance to the Europe section, the Asia section, South America and Oceania, and then we're going to add probably an Africa section over here for all of these African habitats. So I think that makes a lot of sense to have 4 entrances, and it just does in the game as well, because otherwise they don't really come in properly, like they don't filter through your zoo properly. And look at them! Wow, they've got, oh my goodness, look at their ears! They've got such interesting ears. They've got little tufts on them. Wow, that's really cool. I didn't see that properly before. That's really interesting. How pretty they are. So this is our male that needs to go on contraceptives, and this is our female who looks very similar, honestly. Are they just a little bit smaller? Now the main thing we need to do is pause the game, go on heat maps, and just check that they can't escape anywhere. They can't escape, and they can climb this massive mountain, which I love. I love that. So they're enjoying climbing the mountain currently, but I doubt this is the right makeup for them. So yeah, it's definitely not. They've got way too much long grass. They need more rock and soil, basically. So let's repaint this terrain. I'll probably add in the water area while I'm here as well. So we can have a nice little pond over here. Can we fill it any higher? Yeah, that makes more sense. Let's have it at this height. So we've got a water area over here. If we hit play, they've still got a lot of space. Calculating. That's so much more. That's crazy. Okay, this is a massive habitat for them. And they don't have any climbing area, so we will add that in. But let's first sort out the terrain makeup. So we're going to make this exactly what they need. I think that looks a lot better, and it's meeting all of their needs, so I think they're fairly happy with that. Now, we do need to give them some hard shelter and some climbing area, and we also need to give them all of their enrichment. Now, what's wrong with them? Space? I don't think you do have space issues, actually. I think of everything, you don't have space issues. I think you've got an abundance of space. That's really odd. I'm thinking that's probably going to sort itself out. It's maybe that they're elevated or something, but that's really weird because they have so much space. Look at them just walking along the waterline. That's really cool there, with the sun hitting it. This game is very beautiful, I have to say. It has some really cool moments in it like this. But yes, let's put in everything they need. We can also start teaching our guests about them. So let's make sure we don't miss out on loads of money. Let's teach our guests and put some donation bins in before we put in the enrichment, actually. Let's do all that so we can fund this habitat. Okay, that's all the education in place. Oh, we do need a donation bin over here, actually, on this side. That's the only thing I've missed. Let's put a donation bin over here. And then other than that, we need to put in the enrichment for this animal. So let's go to the habitat tab, the enrichment items, and then filter by species. And we want to select the Caracal. And then we can put in all of this stuff, particularly the food enrichment I'm interested in, as well as we're going to need a food tray. So let's put a small food tray in over here. And then we're going to need all these food enrichment items. And then we can also put in some climbing enrichment and some bedding. So I'm going to do all of that now. Okay, I think we've built quite a lot for them here. I'm going to hit play and see if they're happy with their enrichment. The social still says they haven't got enough space. So I'm just going to move them and just see if moving them kind of sorts that out and they recognize that they have loads of space. I'm hoping it will. Yeah, okay, that's just worked. Okay, that was just a little glitch, I guess. But it seems they've got quite a lot now. They should be happy with this, hopefully. And we built them kind of a fort into the mountainside, which hopefully they're going to like, because they can access it. So they've got quite a lot of stuff around the whole of the mountain as well. They've got like a little bit of climbing enrichment and another bed around there, along with the enrichment spread out. So this should be quite a good area. And obviously most of the food is around here. So yes, these habitats are massive. It's the same with the Asian water monitors. The habitats are big, but all the stuff that they're going to want to do is around here, including all the drinking water. So they are going to come around here frequently where guests can see them. And we've got some protesters that need to leave because they're fine. We didn't even do anything wrong. Like, we didn't even have to fix anything that we did wrong. It was just that the game didn't recognize it. I'm going to move the sprinkler here as well, so it's a little bit further away from that enrichment over here. But I think this is pretty cool. I like this little area for them. I think that's doing a good job. So the next thing to put in is some nature, and we need to make sure that this matches their needs. So I'm going to delete these filters we had on here. I'm going to select one of our Caracals, go on environment, and then, oh, it's basically the same. But they need stuff from Africa or Asia. I'm going to put Africa, grassland, and Asia grassland, because as long as they're grassland plants, I'm happy. But we can have a mix of these and basically have fun. They don't really want too much, so I'm not going to put too much in, but I am going to put a decent amount in so that we can meet all of their needs. Oh no, we've had a dangerous animal escape. How did you get out? Let's emergency capture you. It's because I put this too close to the wall. Right. I'm going to move that in. And then make sure we've not done the same over here. Probably need to rotate this so it's further away from the wall. I'm going to hit play and see if we go on our habitat tab. Let's select one of them and see where they can go. Because if they can escape, we need to fix that. No, they can't escape now. Everything as well. It was just this one. Did a great job. Seized the opportunity straight away. Okay, let's get back to doing the nature. Okay, we're kind of in the middle of their nature range right now, so I think that's pretty good. Oh my goodness. I would not want to do this job. Okay, you really can't be scared of heights to come up here and just walk with no railing or anything. That's an interesting one. But you can get a good view of the whole zoo from here. It's actually pretty cool. This is quite an interesting habitat. And it seems like our guests are liking the habitat too. We do need to add in some education stands at some point as well. We're going to need some of those. The education talk points, so we can do like talks, and like here they'd be able to throw food in, which would be really cool. But yeah, I think they're enjoying it. Look at them playing with their cardboard box in a mountain. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Oh, they freaked themselves out. That's so cute. Oh, it's a gulpy box as well. You got to represent. You got to represent the brands. Well, now that we've moved in here, I think it's probably time we learn a little bit more about the Caracal. The Caracal is a small wildcat that lives in the savannas, the marshes, semi-deserts, woods, and scrublands of Africa and the Middle East. Its coat is tan red with a paler underside, and the body is stocky with large feet and a comparatively short tail. It has large pointed ears with long black tufts protruding from the tips, which are so cute, as well as dark facial markings above the eyes and the sides of their lips. The word Caracal is derived from the Turkish Caraculak, which means black ear. The Caracal can jump over 3 meters straight up into the air, often using this skill to catch airborne birds. It's also able to take down prey 3 times its size. And Caracals are known as desert lynxes due to their lynx-like tufted ears and bobbed tail resembling lynx characteristics. Still, the lynx and Caracal remain separate genera. The Caracal has been trained to assist humans with hunting, and has also been featured in sport hunting, where watchers would place bets on how much prey the Caracal could catch in a set period of time. Thankfully, the Caracal is a least concerned species, but they are a beautiful new addition to our zoo. And I think now we've made this huge mountainous habitat that is probably good for this video. So I think we're going to do the guest area in the next video when we build the final habitat in the Asia section of the zoo. Let me know in the comments what you think will be the final habitat. Also, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It really helps the channel out, and I'll see you in the next one.